Hello and welcome back to Avani's Blacked Out Stories. And today's story comes from r/confessions, and it's titled, I stalked my fiance to get him to ask me out, and he has no idea. I searched for this topic and found a few threads, but they all look so fake, so I thought I'd share my real confession, and please do not judge me. I'm a fairly attractive woman, but I'm picky. I get approached by men, but I always find something wrong with them. I was at work one day, and my supervisor was being very mean. And in walked in. Oh, that was our first day meeting. You see, Ann worked closely with me, but only in emergency situations. Now, I won't reveal our specialties by the off chance he sees this post. And he spoke up for me that day. I looked at him, and physically he's everything I wanted in a man. Tall, muscular, dimples, and he had the finance part down. Let's just say in a few years, he'll earn a lot. Not to say I'm a gold digger, but I want to be comfortable. So I decided to put more effort at work for him to notice me. I did my hair, makeup, etc. And he did. I caught him looking my way a few times, but he never spoke to me. Finally, I got his name. I looked him up online. The more I discovered, the more I wanted him. We were both raised by single mothers. We lived a couple minutes from each other as children, like the same sports team, shows, etc. I began to imagine my life with him. But if only he'd approach me. I didn't plan to stalk him at first. I thought it was just a crush that will go away. I tried dating other guys, and I can't think of him. I felt like I was in an episode of You. Because I felt this strong urge to get to know him, so during my free time, I would stalk him online. And one thing led to another. I found his mother's Facebook. I figured out where she went to church. I signed up for that church. I also found his address online. So, I picked up a per diem gig at a coffee shop literally down the block from their apartment. I didn't need the job. I had a career already, but I needed an excuse to run into him. One day, I saw his mother carrying bags to her walk-up. I hurried to help her, and I mentioned I recognized her from church. I introduced myself and helped her with her bags. She was very kind. Then every Sunday at church I say hi to her, and we started sitting next to each other since I came alone, and she was the only person I knew. At this point, about 6 months had gone by, and N no longer worked at my job, and I never saw him again. I knew he liked to fish, so I brought a book about fishing. I wrote, "If lost, please return to S." Seriously, I'm trying to learn how to fish. I wrote my Instagram handle and phone number on it. At this point, I stopped working at the shop, but never told his mom I quit and grew closer to her. She spoke about her son a lot. I learned so much about him and even his work schedule. This is why I knew when to ring her bell. I came up with an excuse that I locked my phone inside the store, and I have no way to order an Uber home. She walked me in, and N was there. He looked at me like I'm someone he knew, but he couldn't pinpoint it. I said hi, and I didn't push for a conversation. I mostly talked to his mom, making sure to mention I needed to go home right away to watch the X Games on television. Knowing it's his favorite team. And I accidentally left my book there that evening. Guess what? He texted me the next day about the book and says he'd be willing to take me fishing. And the rest is history. We have been together a year and a half now, and we were engaged last month. Honestly, we just work. And he did notice me. He claimed he was too shy to approach me, and then he switched buildings and never saw me again. He'd think it was fate that brought us together, and I just shake my head. I'm so happy with him, and I'm aware I could never tell him this, though. That's my story. Well, anyway, I'm happy you all are still listening. And please subscribe if you think this channel is okay. And like and share, that'd be awesome. Well, anyway, let's get to some of these comments. The first comment comes from David Unger, and he states, "The lioness is stalking her prey. Not too close in the grass, slowly along the tree line, by the throat at the water hole." The next comment comes from an Irish Mexican. An Irish Mexican states, "Didn't you read OP felt like she was in an episode of You? Do with that information what you will, but holy F, the amount of red flags I saw in this post." The next comment comes from Powerful Spot 8764, and it states, "A few months ago, another girl published a similar but more extreme story. She started stalking him since high school. She became best friends with his brother and moved on to another city. And since everyone told her she should tell the truth, she did. But her husband saw the red flags and walked away from her. The girl, who at first seemed sorry, went crazy when she found out that her husband told his family. And she no longer wanted anything to do with him because, according to her, he committed the worst of betrayals." And now we will go to our final comment, which is a reply to Powerful-Spot 8764, and it's by Oko_, and it states, "I remember that post. What really creeps me out is that both of these women manipulate and target family members. If I found out my partner befriended one of my siblings or my mom just to get close to me, I'll be completely freaked out and, quite frankly, pissed off. That's extremely manipulative, and if they're okay with taking advantages of someone just to get what they want, then what else are they capable of? It's quite frightening. I mean, echoing others in this thread, she literally could have just struck up a conversation with him like a normal person." Well, we are at the end. But it's not gone forever, because you can subscribe, like, and share at any time to Avani's Blacked Out Stories. Take care. Toodles.